how do I get my teammates to cooperate with me to win the game so I can get points and be happier?
If you're a gamer, you've probably thought this before. Ludwig and Dr. K have the answers to this, and they had a top-tier conversation not enough people are listening to or watching, so I'm here to break it down for you. Pretty sure you know who Ludwig is, but in case you don't know who Dr. K is, he's a psychiatrist who attended Harvard, and most importantly, he's a gamer. He is one of us. He understands the trials and tribulations that we go through.
Communication is what helps you win the game. It's just we don't know how to communicate. There's no like FPS trainer for communication.
Who would have thought that in a team game, communication is key? We as gamers, socially inept, we just don't know how to communicate. To be honest, it goes beyond gaming. I know personal anecdotes aren't always the best. I'm in my 20s and I'm still learning how to become a better, effective communicator year by year, day in and day out. It's something you always continuously work towards. If you're a sweaty gamer and you really want the numbers, he's done an experiment that using effective communication that he has learned through the years in his schooling, there's an 800 MMR difference between people who don't communicate and people who do so effectively. And sure, his study, however extensive it was with a MOBA. And so, tactical FPS may have different psychological elements or different, factors. But at the end of the day, teamwork, game communication, I'd be hard-pressed to believe it didn't make a tremendous difference.
The first mistake that people make is that they tell their teammates what to do. Don't ever tell your teammates what to do. Ask them questions.
Even if they don't answer, even if they ignore you the first time around, hey, who should I play? What role would fill this team out? It lays a foundation for communication. You set the precedent for communication, and he goes into that later. And if you see someone making a mistake, generally don't call them out on it. Ask them what you can do to help. Ask them what they think is a better alternative. I think simply put, in terms of Valorant, if you keep sending someone to the same site to defend the same spot, the classic phrase, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So don't do that. Communicate, adapt. That's how you get better. That's how you climb.
Hey, I noticed you're bottom on the fucking leaderboard. How about you leave me alone? I feel like would be the reply.
But that's if you tell them to do something. And then you know what they do 90% of the time? They go to the different part of the map. It's crazy.
Like, for example, if somebody insta-locks, are you just like, hey man, like, are you sure you should have insta-locked, or are you just eating that because that's what pisses me off.
What's the purpose of communication? I understand you're in a relationship with someone, right?
That's
and
okay.
When you
to be clear, I was not thinking about relationship communication. The first part.
I just asked about communication.
I thought we were in the context of.
That's the problem, dude, is that there isn't a different context whether you're playing a video game or in a relationship. Every time you play in a video game, you are in a polyamorous relationship with all of your teammates.
The second mistake that most people do is to answer toxicity with toxicity. You're going to F me, I'm going to F you right back, buddy.
So let me put it this way. When one person locks Duelist, what do they make you do?
They make me lock another role.
So people are going to, if I walk up to you and I slap you across the face, what are you going to do?
I'm going to say, oh yeah? Oh yeah. Oh, fuck me, you're in some trouble now.
If I walk up to you and hi, Ludwig, my name is Alok, and I hold out my hand and we shake it, you can set the tone of communication. And all it takes is when they do one toxic thing and you can respond to that toxic thing with compassion, you'll flip it around.
I'm not as sweaty into Valorant as I used to be, or gaming in general, but there were so many times where the morale was just so low and it clearly reflected in our play. It's so much more demoralizing to lose and have everyone at each other's throats rather than just uplifting each other. It's just that simple. Even if you're losing and being compassionate with each other, it's a way better time and it sets you up for success for the next game more than just whatever this bullcrap is, what people do. The third mistake is letting your emotions control you. A lot easier said than done. Obviously, as gamers, we know there's a thing called tilt. And when you tilt, you do worse and worse, and it's a spiral into doomland.
So if we're being stoic in the Valorant situation, what does that look like versus being avoidinary?
So what being a stoic means is not reacting, not letting your emotions control you. So
3 insta-lock duelists. How am I being stoic?
How does that make you feel?
eat shit and die. I would say to all three of them in my head internally. If I were to react maybe stoically, maybe that is in line with also acting compassionately. Hey guys, my name's Ludwig. We have 3 Insulock duelists. How can I help turn this ship right?
So compassion is a little bit different. So what is stoicism? Stoicism is not being controlled by your internal emotions or reactions. When you say eat shit and die, what do you want to do? You want to lock duelist. Whatever your reaction is telling you to do, not doing that is stoicism. Taking a step back from that, acknowledging, hey, I want to lock duelist. Compassion is completely separate. So just not, you can still lock duelists. I'll give you, like, you want to know how to win that game with 3 instant lock duelists? The way you do it is, bros, what is going on here? Do y'all want me to try to salvage this, or should I insta-lock duelist, and are we going to have the most epic victory of a team of full duelists?
I've done that a few times. It's worked once. It was amazing when it worked. The other times, horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, and you can even say that. 99% chance we lose, but if we win, it's going to be epic. What should we do? Do we go for glory, or do we try to salvage what is a colossally bad start to a draft? And even that attitude, that's stoicism. Life can send you whatever the fuck it wants, but like, I ain't gonna let it control me.
It spans past gaming as well, not letting you overreact, not letting your emotions control you, and then you end up making decisions you regret. Sure, everyone's been through it. The key is, and it takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of work, but take a step back, acknowledge your emotions. Beyond that is to set an intention and work towards that intention. So if you're trying to be a god gamer, give these things a go. And before you say, why don't you give it a go? Why don't you prove Dr. K right? Show me that you can do it. I'm not trying to be a sweaty god gamer anymore. Instead, trying to make dumb YouTube videos. So here's my version of it. This is my attempt at Radiant. This is my climb. And besides, there are plenty of videos showing that aim trainers work, giving general tips and advice, do's and don'ts. Not enough people are talking about the psychology of it, and that's what sets a lot of these people apart. The reason so many people say, oh, that's just a Ludwig diff, oh, that's just Ludwig, is because he's figured certain things out, and oftentimes people just shut that door out because they just say, oh, I'm not capable of that, but you are. And if you are just writing this off completely, you've already lost. You've already failed. If you're not willing to use every tool at your disposal to climb, you're not going to. You don't have the mindset. You don't have what it takes to compete with the best. Yes, there are some people who are simply built different. They are freaks of nature, but you're not them. You are not LeBron James. You are not tens. So you have to try something else. Once again, if you're just grinding to grind with no intention but thinking that'll make you better, that's insanity. And sure, maybe it doesn't work at all and it's all just hoopla. But if it doesn't get you Radiant, I'm willing to bet you it gives you a more fulfilling, healthy gaming experience. And your gaming journey in the long term will be better off with it. So that's about it. That's all I had to say. And if you felt any type of way, you know what to do. Let me know if you think it's a bunch of hoopla, if it's garbage, trash advice, or if there's any merit behind this. Give it a shot. Give it a go, and as always, long live the Brotherhood.